If you're like me, you've tried every bicep exercise there is and still struggle to grow your arms. After years of trial and error and real progress, I finally figured it out. So in today's video, I'll be breaking down the top 5 bicep exercises to help me naturally grow 18-inch arms as a teenager. And trust me, wait till you see number 1, because that exercise changed everything. Before we get into it, these are my personal top 5 exercises based on my own experience. And just a heads up, I wouldn't recommend doing all of them in one workout. At most, pick 3 per session, and I'll let you know which 3 exercises I use at the end. Training your biceps correctly isn't as simple as you think. Your biceps are broken down into 2 heads, the short head and the long head. The short head sits on the inside of your arm and helps make your biceps look fuller and wider. It plays a big role into curling the weight and turning your palm upward. The long head runs on the outside of your arm and is what creates that bicep peak when you flex. Both heads matter. The short head builds width and the long head builds peak. And if you want well-rounded biceps, you need to train both. So I'm going to be covering how to hit each head and which one each exercise primarily hits. So let's start with number 5, cable straight bar bicep curl. This trains the long head and short head pretty evenly and is one of the most common bicep exercises for good reason. First, free weights naturally lose tension at the top, but with cables you have constant tension throughout the whole movement, which is great for muscle hypertrophy and muscle growth. Secondly, it's amazing for progressive overload because you can constantly increase the weight over time, which helps you get stronger and grow bigger. The third reason is how simple it is. So it's a great exercise to start with if you're a beginner. The key here is control. Slow the eccentric with a hard squeeze at the top and don't let momentum do the work for you. This is one of those movements where lighter weight with perfect form gets you way more growth than maxing out the stack. Aim for 10 to 15 reps with 3 to 4 controlled sets. Now the reason I have it at number 5 is because when I've done it, lifting the bar feels unstable, and at the bottom of the rep I don't feel that much tension. It's a great exercise for beginners, but I would much rather choose other exercises over it. Next at number 4, seated cable overhead bicep curl. This trains mostly the short head and is massively underrated. Most people have never even heard of it or even tried it. When you sit down and bring the cables overhead, you're training the biceps in the shortest and most contracted position. This is exactly where most lifters are weakest, and that's why their arms plateau. I don't know if you've ever seen Olympic gymnast arms, but they're insane, and they don't specifically train them. They just do a form of pull-up or chin-up while training. This exercise is mimicking a chin-up, but your body is secured down so you can isolate the bicep even better. If you want to do it right, during the concentric, focus on squeezing your bicep. Hold it for a second, then slowly control the eccentric. It might feel like your biceps are about to cramp, but that's a good thing. That means the short head is fully engaged and fully shortened, which is almost impossible to do with traditional curls. I would recommend going heavy on this, but don't sacrifice form over weight. Aim for 10 to 12 reps and 3 to 4 controlled sets. Now I will say this is a very advanced movement. If done correctly, it requires a lot of mind muscle control because this movement is very similar to a lat pull down, and your body will automatically try to engage the lats, which will take away from the bicep activation. Try your hardest not to use your lats at all. Honestly, this exercise could be number 1, but I put it at 4 because of how difficult it is to do it. If you have good mind muscle control and do it correctly, this is one of the best movements you can do. And an honorable mention, weighted chin-ups. If you like calisthenics, it's pretty much the same thing as the cable version, but you have less control and it's more difficult to isolate the biceps. Most people can't do a chin-up or pull-up, but if you're an advanced lifter, this is a great choice. And at number 3, incline dumbbell curls. This is for training the long head and is essential for building that bicep peak. Laying back on the incline, put your arms behind your torso. This stretches the bicep more than any typical curl, putting the bicep under deep tension before the rep even starts. That massive stretch forces the long head to work even harder, and that's what creates that bicep peak. But the very important part is the neutral grip. You need it to help activate the long head. Let the weight hang, let it stretch, and don't swing the weight unless you're going to failure. Focus on form and control over weight, and aim for 10 to 12 reps with 3 to 4 sets. Honestly, I have no negatives about this exercise. I just prefer the next 2 exercises slightly more. But this is my personal favorite for the long head, and I would highly recommend adding it to your routine. And next at number 2, standing barbell bicep curl. This equally focuses on the short and long head and is a staple for a reason. If I had to pick one exercise to build straight up size, this would be the one. But without technique, this exercise is useless. Stand upright, chest tall, arms slightly in front of your body so your bicep stays under tension. Curl the weight with control and don't let your elbows drift behind you. Most importantly, don't swing the weight. And if you feel like you have to, then lower the weight. Aim for 8 to 10 reps with 3 to 4 sets and try to go heavy. The only minor negative I have about this exercise is that it's not a unilateral movement, which means it trains each side separately. From personal experience, when I've trained each side separately with dumbbells, I don't feel as good of an activation, unlike when I'm using a barbell. Other than that, this would be my favorite bicep exercise if it wasn't for number 1. It's honestly such a well-rounded and reliable choice for bicep growth. So definitely add this to your routine. And the moment you've all been waiting for, at number 1, hands down the best bicep exercise, single arm preacher curls. For this, I'm only going to be talking about the machine version, but if you don't have a preacher curl machine, most of this stuff applies to free weights as well. This exercise is great for training both heads, but it mainly focuses on the short head. And in my opinion, this is the best, most well-rounded bicep exercise there is. Preacher curls completely remove momentum, and because you're using a machine, the resistance curve stays consistent throughout the whole movement. One of the biggest advantages to this exercise is unilateral training, which means you can control each side individually. Always start with your weaker arm, match the reps on your stronger arm, and over time they'll equalize. I struggled with muscle imbalances for years, and this exercise almost single-handedly fixed it for me. To make this exercise more effective, when you lower the weight, let it stretch fully. Then when you curl, move slowly and squeeze at the top. I also like to put my elbow at an angle to help activate the short head even more. And an added bonus is, once you hit failure, use your other arm to help get a few more half reps to fully optimize your workout. Doing all this will build that full and well-rounded bicep. Aim for 10 to 15 reps in 3 to 4 sets with heavy weight and strict form. If you want to add any of these exercises to your workout routine, I'll tell you the 3 exercises I use if you want to copy mine. Honestly, it's pretty simple. I just use the top 3, which are incline dumbbell curls, standing barbell bicep curls, and single arm preacher curls. But any of my top 5 exercises will fit perfectly into your routine. One last thing, don't underestimate form. Most people don't have small biceps because they don't train hard enough. They have small biceps because they train sloppy. Stay focused and treat every rep the same. If you want me to break down my full arm day or do my top 5 tricep exercises, just let me know in the comments. If you found this video helpful in any way, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe with notifications on. Thank you.